Good morning and happy Tuesday. I am really excited because we got the okay for financial literacy. I think that this is going to be a really good thing for you. This is something that I did not get as a minor. I still don't got it all now. So it's just really cool to be able to have this opportunity. We only have about 15 lessons left together. So I thought this would be a beautiful thing for you to know before you go off to school. Fun story, one of my students, Yakaya, she owns Sweet Surprise Cupcakes. So if you have social media, please follow her. But she is 16. She goes to Whitney Young, and she has a full thriving business. I remember when she was in 8th grade with me, she would sell cupcakes after school and things like that. But now her business is an LLC. She's making good money from it. And I know she's able to buy the nice things she wants. And I'm sure she's going to be very independent. She's really smart. And so lessons like this just really help when you're driven like that, right? You want to own your own business. You want to start to save before you even get to college and be knowledgeable about credit before you go to college and burn up a credit card, right? So that's why this is important. I'm really excited. I'm going to go through the PowerPoint, and then I'm going to pause and I'm going to go through the work that you're going to do on your end, and then I'm going to go through the quiz. The quiz will be your independent practice / exit ticket. This stuff is pretty rigorous. I'll post the slides. I'll post everything so you have that material as you're going through your Google form and answering the questions. But just try to keep up. And don't forget, I have office hours every day from 12:30 to 1. So today's lesson is on making decisions, right? So these are the 6 main things that go into just decision-making processes. So 1, we're going to go over the decision-making process itself. 2, identifying the problem, so any conflict that might be in your way of whatever goal you have. 3, gather information and list plan Bs, list some possible alternatives. 4 is consider the consequences of each alternative. So if you have a plan B of maybe taking out a side loan, is that going to hurt me more than help me in the long run? Bullet point 5, select the best course of action. So you have to literally plan out your journey and then select which one will be the best route for you. And then 6 will be to evaluate the results. So really weigh the results and see which one is the best course of action for you. So these are the factors that can influence your decision. A is your values. What are values? So values are the things that are important to you and your family. So in my family, values it was a non-negotiable that everybody in that house was going to go to college and graduate. That is not something that was an option. I had other career goals outside of that. I wanted to go to trade school, and that was just not a thing. So it's you're going to a 4-year university. And I kind of wanted to because my brother did. And then after that, my little sister did. We all went to the same school. We all went to Illinois State University. So that was one of our hardcore family values. So you want to think about the values in your family, right? So are you a second generation kid, right? Because that's what my dad was. So it was really important that everybody in his household started working right away. So it's just different values for different families and different cultures. So you want to make sure that you're grounded in your values. What's important to you and your culture. Peers, people you know, pressure for positive or negative behaviors. This is a big one, right? So if you're somebody that's just really grinding, really on your stuff, are your peers the same way? If they're not, it sounds sad, but you have to get rid of them. You're not on the same journey with them. Are they not only on your same path, but helping you grow? Are they pushing you towards that goal? Let's say you want to start graphic design because you want to make t-shirts when you get to high school, right? Is your peer someone that's too much, you're doing too much, right? That's not the type of people you want. Those factors can influence your decision. C are habits. I think habits, y'all, is the biggest one because that's a problem for me even now. I literally have a piece of paper with my daily schedule as if we're still in school, because if not, my habit is to take a nap. Miss Williams talks about me all the time, but I will literally sleep the day away. Is that something you're used to doing? You have to snap out of that habit. It takes 21 days to break it. What else could you do with that time? Maybe go work out. If your habit is to not do homework, if your habit is to not log on to e-learning, how can you break that habit, right? D is feelings. Love, anger, frustration, ambivalence, rejection. if you do make a certain decision, if you don't make a certain decision. So how will it feel to you, right? So I know that when we first started e-learning, a lot of my pretty hard workers during school were like, I'm not feeling this. I'm getting angered by this, right? That can influence your decision to succeed. If you are not able to kind of have that emotional intelligence and balance out your emotions, that can really factor into your decision, no matter how intelligent you are, right? E is family. Family's preference. I don't want you to do that with your life. I want you to do this, right? Um, my mom never was able to do that, so I'm not going to be able to do that either, right? And that's like the generational curse thing we kind of used to talk about during the school year. That factors into your decisions, right? It limits, or you can say, I'm going to do my own thing, and you can expand over that. F is risk and consequences. What or how much you stand to win or stand to lose, right? Am I willing to try and fail and then try again just to make sure I reach my end goal? Or am I just okay with being complacent? You cannot grow financially. You cannot grow in life. You cannot grow in career without taking the risk. If you stay complacent and you stay comfortable, you will not grow. But that factors into decisions, because a lot of people are like, I will stay in my comfy, cozy lane. I don't have to reach for any higher goals because I don't like taking risks. But again, the risk and the failure is how you grow. Not saying try to fail your classes. That is not what I'm saying. Risk meaning, oh, I want to try to take an AP class, right? That's a risk, okay? Age, minor, adult. Same like with my old student, Yakaya. She's 16. She owns a business. A lot of adults don't. Do I own a business? No. So she's doing a darn thing, and it's just, are you going to let your age define you? Oh, I'm too young to own a business. I'm too young to buy a car. I'm only 16. I don't know what the age is for y'all. When I was young, it was 16 to get a license. It might be 18 now. But still, like, letting your age define you, that's influencing your decision. So these are some vocab words we need to know. This will be posted in the Google form, but I'll read through it. Spontaneity. Choosing the first option that comes to mind. Giving little or no consideration to the consequences of the choice. So when you're a spontaneous person, you're like, whatever, I'm down. I'm going with the flow. That's not always the best when you're working with money, because you don't want to lose all your money by just picking and doing everything. You have to weigh the cost. Compliance. Going along to get along. You're going along with family, school, work, peer expectations. I'm just here. I'm just doing what everybody else is doing. I'm looking. You laughing? I'm laughing. Oh, you crying? I'm about to cry too. That's just compliance. You're just going along with everybody else. Procrastination. Postponing thought and action until options are limited. My name is Danielle P. King, and the P stands for procrastination. I got to get my life together. So this lesson's for me too. Agonizing, accumulating so much info that analyzing the options becomes overwhelming. This is when you experience anxiety, right? I'm scared. Which way should I go? I want to do this, but I want to do this. Just calm down. And this is what we're going to learn today, how to make the right decisions. Intention, choosing an option that will be both intellectually and emotionally satisfying. Right? So not only smart, satisfying, but it feels good to do it, right? So that's, for me, that's teaching. I was very intentional about teaching. I knew it was a career that would gratify me not only spiritually and intellectually. I'm going to stay smart because I'm constantly learning with you guys, but emotionally, right? Desire, choosing the option that might achieve the best result regardless of the risk involved. It is my desire to do this. I want to become this. Whatever it takes, I'm going to do it. Avoidance. Choosing the option that is most likely to avoid the worst possible result. Again, that's not how you grow, but a lot of people will do it. I just want to avoid that. I don't want to choose that option. It might pan out to the worst possible result for me. Security. Choosing an option that will bring some success and offend the fewest people and pose the least risk. Another, safety. Oh, this is secure. I can do this. And everybody else will be comfortable with me doing this. I'll be comfortable with me doing this. No one gets hurt. But no one flies either, right? Synthesis. Choosing the option that has a good chance to succeed and that you like the best. It's a chance that this might really work out for me, and I kind of like it, right? So you're synthesizing it. You're like almost analyzing what's going on, okay? Now, economic influences on decision making. Consumer prices, changes in the buying power of the dollar, inflation, deflation. We are inflated right now. Everything is closed. So the small amount of businesses that are open, they're raising their price because not a lot of people are coming in, right? I was in a car with my friend and it was like, oh my God, a haircut is $88. Like, obviously I'm being dramatic, but people are raising their prices right now because our country is kind of in a mini recession due to COVID. So that's inflation. Deflation is when everything's really, really cheap, okay? Consumer spending, demand for goods and services. Consumer spending is really low. A lot of businesses are going out of business because how are they going to pay their bills if they don't have consumers spending money? GDP, gross domestic product. The total values of goods and services produced within a country. Okay? So meat packing, factories, water irrigation, everything, goods and services produced within the country. Housing starts, the number of new homes being built. Hopefully a lot, because I want to buy one soon. Interest rates, the cost of borrowing money. Ooh, y'all. So student loans. I took out a personal student loan my freshman year of college, $10,000. I've been paying on it for 8 years. Hold on, I gotta pause. I'm thirsty. I've been paying on it for 8 years. It's just now, I'm gonna just be real with y'all, it's just now hit 9,000 because my interest rate was so freaking high. And the way I was paying it back, I'm like not even putting a dent in it. Interest matters. So interest is, okay, Kamaya borrows $10 from Khalees, okay? So Kamaya says, hey, I need $10. Khalees says, here, you can have this $10, but I'm gonna charge you $3 on top of it, interest, for me letting you borrow it. So now Kamaya owes Khalees $13. Does everyone understand? Right? So the higher the interest rate, so let's say Khalees says, I'm charging you $5 interest on it. Instead of just owing her back that 10, she now owes her back 15. Interest rates matter, okay? Money supply. Funds available for spending in the economy. How much money is available to spend in the nation? Stock market index. So stocks are really big right now in Corona. Like a lot of adults are buying stocks. Some of y'all have bank accounts. You can buy stocks too. It's a lot of apps. We can talk about that one at a time. We have a lesson on it. But those are like the Dow Jones averages. Standard & Poor's 500 indicate general trends in the value of U.S. stocks. I have not made a lot of money in stocks. My stocks go up and down frequently. Mr. Franklin is really knowledgeable in stocks. So if you want to bring this up in your office hours with him, I'm sure he would like to lend some knowledge to you. Like I know Kylie Jenner invested in a Coty, which is the makeup line. So I was like, oh, I want to invest in a Coty. So I put like $50 into it. It goes up and down. Right now it's on a big high because people are just at home online shopping. But it's a lot to it, but it can be lucrative if you know what you're doing. Unemployment. The number of people without employment who are willing to work, that is really high in COVID, as we all know. One of my best friends just got furloughed, which means he's laid off right now. It's happening. So unemployment rates go up and down. I know when Obama was president, the unemployment rate dropped, I think around like 1.9% or something like that. But that's always a blessing. Risk associated with decision making. So we started with the common decision making strategies, economic, and now risk. Okay? Personal risk. Factors that may create a less than desirable situation. Personal risk may come in the form of inconvenience, embarrassment, safety, or health concerns, right? I want to be in the circus. I want to be the lady on the silk wrap who does all of this. Am I going to make a lot of money? Who knows? Might I die? Absolutely. So that's going to be a high risk job for me. I might not want to take it. Inflation risk. Rising prices cause lower buying power. Buying an item later may mean a higher price. Okay? So, rent, when people pay rent, it usually goes up every year, however, landlords usually raise the rent every year that you live with them. So, let's say you say, well, I'm not going to buy with them. And then maybe you change your mind towards closer to time to sign your lease again. It might have went up even more. So that's just when you sit on it and you not buy something in a moment, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm being smart. But if you actually buy it later, usually the price might have inflated, okay? Because it might have done really well in the economy. Interest rate risk. Changing interest rates affect your costs when borrowing and your benefits when saving or investing. So, like, for instance, the student loan interest rate that I'm just now getting paid off, which is gonna keep going. But if I went through a program maybe and tried to get that changed, it would really affect the cost, right? It would affect the principal rate. The principal rate is the base rate I owe, which is $10,000. But if I were to change that interest rate, it's gonna just affect my borrowing immensely, right? So I don't want to get an interest rate that's really high. I don't want to get one that's medium either. You want to go with the lowest possible interest rate you can. Income risk. Changing careers or reduced spending by consumers can result in a lower income or loss of one's employment. Career changes or job loss can result in a lower income and reduced buying power. If I just want to quit teaching tomorrow and I say, oh, I'll just shine shoes outside, right? That's a huge income risk for me. Am I going to be able to sustain my life and pay my bills? Probably not. Liquidity. I got to pause. Y'all, I literally am talking so much. Liquidity risk. Certain types of savings, certificates of deposit, and investments, real estate, may be difficult to convert to cash quickly, right? So let's say you want to sell your home, right? It might not convert to the money you thought it would in a quick manner, okay? Even savings. So let's say you have like a CD or something, certificates of deposit, CD, and investments. It might not convert to that cash as fast as you thought it would. And that's what a liquidity risk is. It's that time period between, okay? So these are all of the risks. Personal, the risk of something getting higher in price, the risk of it having higher interest, the risk of your income being in jeopardy, and the risk of it might not transfer to the money that you thought it would at the time period it would, okay? Oh, I'm gonna need water every day when I'm taking this, but we need this lesson. Opportunity cost refers to what a person gives up when a decision is made. This cost, also called a trade-off, may involve one or more of your resources, time, money, effort. Okay, I'm gonna trade off getting 8 hours of sleep because I want to do my homework, and instead I'm gonna get 6. Cost of an opportunity. Personal opportunity costs may involve time, health, energy. Well, the first one was more time and effort. The second one is more like well-being. So that could be losing sleep for sure. So time spent studying. Financial opportunity costs. The amount of money that you're putting into whatever you're doing, the risk it would be, right? For example, the purchase of an item with money from your savings means you will no longer obtain interest on those funds. You're not going to get interest on your savings adding to your savings account if you're taking money out of your savings. Because banks are really, I don't know if y'all have savings accounts yet, banks are really big on how much or how frequently you take out of your savings. You really shouldn't be taking out of it at all, unless it's an emergency. Time value of money can be used to measure financial opportunity costs using interest calculations. For example, spending $1,000 from a savings account, paying 4% a year, means an opportunity cost of $40 in lost interest. Okay, let's read it again. Spending $1,000 from your savings, paying 4% a year. So you're paying 4% interest a year. You could have lost $40 in interest. Okay, $40 built up. Calculation: 1,000 times 4% times 1 year is $40. Over 10 years, that $40 a year that you saved at 4% would have a value of $480. when taking into account compound interest. Okay? So, as you can see, if you're taking out of your savings, it's really penalizing you because your interest is going to be taking a toll. It's going to take a toll on your interest. Got it? So I'm going to pause this and switch screens. It won't feel like I paused to you, but I want to hop over into the active work screen that I want you to fill out. Okay, so lesson 1, making decisions. So this first sheet, this will be in a Google form. I just want to go through with you what you'll be doing. What are you trying to decide? Okay, so what do you want to do? So let's say one of y'all told me y'all want to design video games. I don't remember who it was. Somebody in U of I. What might be a problem you face in doing that? What's a fear or a challenge you're going to come across? So let's say hypothetically, I might not have the money to do it, to start my company, to start my LLC. So you're going to identify the problem. Then you're going to gather info and list possible alternatives. So alternatives, I can take out a personal loan. I can get a full scholarship to do this in college. I can do list 4 alternatives. Now consider the consequences of each alternative. Now, if I take out a loan, I'm going to be paying on a loan like Miss King until she's 30, and then I'm going to add interest, right? Then you're going to select the best course of action because you've listed your alternatives already, and then you consider the consequences of your alternatives. Then you're going to select what's the best plan. Then evaluate your results. I'm really excited about this. Y'all can't wait to read y'all goals. What are y'all about to do? Because y'all about to leave us. So I want to know what you're doing. On the next page, what decision-making strategies have you used? So it says, as a class, identify role-play decision-making strategies you've used. So obviously we can't get together as a class. Maybe we could talk about this during office hours tomorrow when you come. But have strategies you use work, right? What factors do you think might influence your choice of strategies? So whatever ways you're deciding to go about your goals and path, have they been working for you? If not, what do you think might have influenced your choice or why you did what you did? Okay? Super easy peasy. That's only 2 questions. This is the last one. This is something I want y'all to go on the internet for. Don't worry about other. What are the recent trends in interest rates? What are the recent trends in consumer prices? That's something you can simply Google. It's going to give you the answer. Possible influences on personal and financial decisions. If interest rates are really high in the country right now, how would that affect whatever career you decided on page 1? If consumer prices are high, how would that affect maybe your business you want to start or whatever you plan to do? Okay? And then that's another analyze decision. I'm only going to put that up once. We won't do that twice. And then finally, you'll have this quiz. The questions 1 through 5 are going to be simple true and false questions. And then 6 through 10 are going to be multiple choice. So I'll be able to figure out who was listening during the lesson. I'm just kidding. I'm going to screenshot the slideshow because it's day 1. We can't be too hard on day 1. But I'm really excited to see what decisions you've already started making and how you're going to go through all of the steps to ultimately synthesize your decision. Okay? So I will see y'all mañana and have a wonderful night.